Hey everybody, it's Danielle here from Dkw Styling. Okay, so this is going to be my last video before the big holiday season. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, so I wanted to kind of give you another video before Christmas. What I typically do, I'm a hairdresser. I specialize and educate on hair extensions, specifically on a method that I created called natural beaded rows. So if you want to find out a little bit more about me, go ahead and visit my website at dkwstyling.com. Click on my blog, some of my gallery to kind of see who I am and some of my work. Okay, so usually on my videos, what I like to do is I kind of do like my look of the week, which is like a cute outfit that I put together, and then I kind of talk about products or a hairstyle or something that I'm loving. Because I specialize in hair extensions, I wanted to specifically talk about hair extensions on this video. I have a lot of people who actually ask me kind of what I'm doing with my color, how to create that look. So I kind of wanted to specifically talk about my hair and what I do as far as color, how I place my extensions, and things like that. So if you've been watching my videos and you're like, what colors, what are you doing to your hair? I'm going to tell you. So my color, I am naturally kind of like a medium brown, and I like to kind of bump up my base a little bit. Now, a lot of people will say, what's the formula you're using? But honestly, it really depends. To understand color, you have to understand how each level of hair lifts. So somebody naturally is an ashy blonde, they're gonna lift different than somebody who's like a medium brown or a dark brown. So, you know, when clients ask me, what's your formula, what's your color, it's not necessarily gonna look the same if they take it to their current hairdresser. So you kind of have to understand by looking at somebody's natural hair color, how their hair is gonna lift and as well as deposit color to kind of create the look that you're going for. So mine, I just like to bump up my base a few shades. So I do actually 3 different colors on mine. I do a permanent, and I also do a semi-permanent, and then I weave through with bleach highlights, and I create what's called the smudge technique. And what that does is it just creates a really soft color. The trick to creating a really good blonde is depth and contrast. A lot of girls say, I want to go lighter, and they end up kind of yellowy, and they're thinking, oh, I keep going lighter and I end up yellowy. So what you need to do is create that contrast in order for your blondes to look, you know, brighter and whiter. But if you create too much contrast, it will look stripy. Have you ever gone in your blonde, you go to get some highlights and you end up with like 3 stripes? Yeah. So another thing about color, it's contrast, but it's also about placement. It's really important. I don't know if you can tell here, my highlights are on my face. I have a lot more of those white blondes that kind of show through, and I usually don't touch, you know, as many at the root. It's kind of hard to communicate sometimes with clients and stylists, as well as, you know, kind of what you want. Kind of listen to your stylist and let them tell you what they think will be right, and try and kind of come to a conclusion on what you think will be best. Because a lot of times, like I said, you'll go into your stylist saying you want to be brighter, lighter, and you end up kind of yellowy. So let them add, you know, some depth to that. So anyways, that is kind of my color. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about hair extensions because I love them, and I specialize in them. So I've done a little bit of, you know, so many different methods, and I've said this on so many of my videos, but my philosophy behind hair extensions, especially if you have fine hair, is the less you attach on your hair, the better it's going to be on your hair. I don't care if they're really, really lightweight and they're just little singles or they're just a little tape-in. The less areas on your head, the less it will pull on your hair. One time I decided to I'm always playing with my own extensions because it helps me learn and be a better stylist to my clients. So I'm always playing around with my extensions, and one time I said, you know, let's put 2 tracks in. On the top track, we're going to put the smallest amount of hair possible. And then on the bottom track, we're going to make it really, really heavy. And when we took them out, we did that a few times, and I wanted to see, you know, if the weight was really making a difference as far as how much hair was shedding out each time I had them moved up. Well, I found that whether the hair was heavier or lighter, I still had about the same amount of hair shed out. So I kind of think that the less areas that you can put them on your hair, the better. And I also think it looks more natural and gives you more movement if you don't have so many in your hair. I'm going to kind of show you what I have in my hair right now. And again, I'm constantly changing it up because it's the way I learn and help educate and help my clients. So as a girl, do you have like one really sucky side to your hair? Like, let's be honest. I feel like I have this heavy side that's like, there's more breakage, it's more heavy, and you're like, what? It never blends. You know what I mean? When you have fine hair and you're like, the front of my hair will only grow jaw length. It's totally normal. You didn't do anything weird. It's our texture of hair. It just takes a beating on the front of our hair. So it just doesn't grow that well at the front, right? Okay, so one thing that I love about the type of extensions I do, which I call natural beaded rows, is you can custom them however you want. If you want a strip this big, you make it that big. If you want a strip that goes all the way around the hair, you make a strip that goes all the way around the hair. You can do it however you want it. Okay, so this is my crappy side, right? See how I have just one little piece over here that kind of fills that in? Yes. And notice how with my extensions, another thing I like to do with my extensions to kind of create that depth is I like to paint a root so that it kind of hides, so that if my hair moves in the wind, like you're not going to see them, right? So anyways, and you guys are probably like, well, Danielle, why don't you have a track that just goes all the way around? Why don't you have 2 tracks? Like I said, less is more. Also, notice my hair is longer through here. My natural hair is longer through here, right? Now, I do have some shorter pieces, but let me just tell you what happens when you put your track higher. So watch. If I'm going to go in and place a track right here, what is this creating? All these little short pieces are now creating what I like to call the ledge. Okay? So if you have longer pieces in here, you actually want to place your track a little bit lower. This allows for more movement. So right now in my hair, I have one track that goes all the way around. I have one little mini piece right here. And I also have, you know, in the back, when, say you're a girl and you've had track extensions before, I don't care what method it is, and when they loosen, this top area doesn't blend as well. Well, you don't want to put a track too high because then you're creating what? The ledge effect. So if you create a mini track a little bit lower, you know, kind of watch where your hair naturally wants to split and make sure you're placing it below that so you get more movement, but when they grow out, you have that little mini piece that kind of breaks up your real hair and the track below it, okay? So that's kind of what I have in my hair, and I wanted to show some of my viewers. My real hair's got a good amount of length, and yes, I do have these short pieces, but I would never place a track that high. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes in any kind of track extension is that people are placing them too high and doing too many rows. So anyways, that is how I prefer them. That's why I kind of created my own method. I use bigger beads, I put more hair in to create a stronger bond to the hair. Therefore, it protects your hair and keeps the integrity of your hair better. Okay, one more thing that I want to share with you about my hair extensions. A lot of people are like, Danielle, what color of hair do you buy? So there's so many different mixed blondes, and honestly, so many of them are very, very close. You can get away with, you know, several that will match your color. I usually go with kind of it's like a platinum blonde with kind of a caramely brown mix in it, and that's what I like for mine. The thing I have noticed with all hair extensions, when you buy this mixed blonde, I don't know if you've noticed, but it kind of fades kind of brassy, right? And so a lot of clients will come in and they're like, well, what do I do? I don't know if I'm ready for all new hair. Sometimes you need to create that contrast again to kind of make it look like a more white blonde. So I sometimes with mine will mix maybe, you know, a light caramely brown into it. And if that makes it too goldy, I'll kind of throw, you know, a platinum blonde mixed in with it. And that's enough to kind of either add a highlight or a low light, which again creates depth, which then makes you have a really pretty soft blonde. So anyways, those are some tricks and tips that I do with my hair. I have a ton of curling videos, so if you like how I curled my hair today, I did a little bit more curly. My 5-minute curl, I like to leave my ends out. This one, I just wanted to do something different, so I wrapped my ends completely in. I use a 1-inch curling iron. I like this curling iron. It's just a Hot Tools ceramic one. It works pretty good. But that's what I use to do my hair today. Okay, so before we go, I'm going to, of course, talk about my look of the week. I'm still loving sequins for the holiday season. If you watched my video earlier this week, I kind of did a bunch of cute looks with sequins. Today, again, I am wearing a JCREW sequin top, and I love mixing textures and patterns and prints. So I actually have on another JCREW button-up that also has polka dots. Totally legal. You can mix prints, patterns. I think it works, you know, and these are both neutral tones, but it looks cute. So this is like a fun way to put something together for the holiday season. Throw on some sequins, some leather pants, some cute, you know, wedge booties or some stilettos, and you're out the door. So anyways, that's my look for the week, all about JCREW. I do also have this cute little bracelet on from Anthropologie that I'm loving right now, kind of glitzy for the holidays. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you after the holiday season. Remember to check out my blog at Dkw Styling /blog. If you can't remember that, there is a link below this video. Go ahead and click on it, or if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube to see more of my videos. All right, you guys, we'll see you after the holiday season.